So VOO, Apple, Microsoft, Google, United Healthcare, Johnson & Johnson, Stryker, Eli Lilly, Tesla, Visa, ABBV, McDonald's, Procter & Gamble, Starbucks. Now you pick your own allocation. If you want the allocation selected for you that gives you the least drawdown and highest maximized gain, then you can join the Red Panda Stock Club, right? But Apple, Microsoft, VOO, Google, United Healthcare, Stryker, Johnson & Johnson, Eli Lilly, Tesla, ABBV, McDonald's, which is in the real estate business, and Don alluded to it last night, Starbucks, and Procter & Gamble. You don't need anything else.
P&G. Shout out to the
Please
folks
put
at
in
P&G.
chat. And we have to we're not picking stocks. We're picking what are the best businesses on the planet to invest in. I wish Bernard would like trim some of them companies out of LVMH, because LVMH, with the right acquisition, if they trim 4 or 5 of those companies, they'll be in that top 10. Dior, a couple other, lifestyle brands that are high price. If you trim those down to like a core 8, they'll give Apple a run for their money. But yeah, those are the 10.
I might have counted 12. Nothing in the cybersecurity space. When we talk about things of the future, I'm just saying it's your list. I'm just asking.
But if we're going to be honest,
yeah,
my heads up thing is always, is this company? Let's take sectors away. Let's go back to playground ball, right?
Okay.
So if I go to the hood and I go to Harlem, like, yeah, I can play. I'm going to play in the Rucker this summer, right? Can I be? It doesn't matter if he's 6'9". I can't be like, hey, I'm the best light skin ish talking guard with a Red Panda jacket on in New York. No. Are you the best of the 10 out here of all 100 people? When I put, and I like CrowdStrike a lot, there's 2 others that I like a lot, but they're not better than Apple. They're not better than Microsoft. If Microsoft gets upset, they'll hop in that cybersecurity business tomorrow. And then what? Which, if I can argue for a pole position away from Apple while Apple's focusing on healthcare, dilly-dallying with EV because they're mad at Elon, and playing the privacy games with Zuckerberg in the App Store, if Microsoft went to the cybersecurity space, I think they would be able to pass up Apple as the #1 most valuable company on earth.
What about that leader in e-commerce, that Goliath, Amazon?
I think they're amazing. But if I had to put them against Google, they lose. United Healthcare, they lose. They could bump out Johnson & Johnson.
Okay.
And Tesla. And Tesla. You're right.
Because I'm just looking at the list. I'm like, this is a solid list. I might have had a few subs in there, but it's your list, so I'm just asking.
Yeah. I mean, and to be honest, Amazon is one of the picks in the Red Panda Stock Club. I said I won't give all the picks. I got to give context. Yeah. But yeah.
We had a record spending Black Friday, right? What was it? $9 billion was spent, which is, I mean, for a retail space, obviously a lot of it was, I think, it was a record in e-commerce, right? So I think Walmart actually led the way, but having those type of numbers is pretty impressive. $9 billion, that's a lot.
Yeah.
All right, there you have that. U.S. housing enters a deep freeze with sellers and buyers sidelined. How can you tell when the housing market has begun to hit its peak?
Oh, this is one of my favorites. So it's a 2-part formula. So number 1, write this down. There's a company, a ticker, MSCI. So it's M&I Homes. But if you go to macrotrends.net, which is becoming like one of my favorite sites. No, I don't own any shares in it. No joint ventures, no partnerships with them. But if you look at their housing historical chart, you literally can see in real time the price action on the housing market. Homework assignment number 3. I want you guys to map out the Fibonacci levels for the housing market over the last 50 years and point out the 3 places where it tells you when the market is going to take a downturn. I know a lot of people were fighting me. I remember maybe a year and a half, I said, hey, we're going to have a pullback. Said we were not going to have it. Demand for homes are down because of the #1 indicator of all, it's quantitative easing. is the Fed going to pump money into the market? Thank you for that. But if you look at that go to macrotrends.net and type in housing historical chart, it will give you a breakdown. And then next week when we do a presentation, I'll walk you through how to tell when the market has hit a peak and then when it's hit a decline to know when to buy. So you literally can graph out on this chart when to buy a house, when you'll have more upside return, and then when the market is going to turn over. So I know some people say you can't predict this stuff. If you spend enough time on the charts, you can predict anything. Go to macrotrends.net.
So Don Peebles, legendary real estate developer, yesterday at MSG, he spoke about his clock philosophy, where he says he looks at real estate like a clock and the hands of a clock. And from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock is when you should be studying the market. From 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock is when you should be actively buying real estate.
Yeah.
From 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock is when you shouldn't be buying real estate at that point in time. And then from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock is when you should be selling real estate. And I asked him, where are we? And he said 3 o'clock. So that means that he thinks that in a very like almost now, we should actively be looking to buy real estate.
Noted. Yeah, I mean, that was one of those things last night.
That's what he said.
You can't argue with the man who's up to D.
Yeah,
can't argue. And once again, he mentioned he's looking to put in capital, and in some of his deals, he's looking to maybe exit at 4x return. So for all my investors and traders, like 400% take profit. I know Shadi talked about last night at 200% take profit. If you're a trader, you want to risk 1 to make 4 for your short-term trades. In the best case scenario, you want to risk 1 to make 11. The formulas in investing are all the same, man. Like if you just apply your formula for when I'm going to buy and at what multiple I'm going to exit, that applies for private equity, real estate, your flips, wholesaling, trading Forex, futures, options, swaps, everything. Use the same mathematical formula and you won't get it. Even for hiring, even for me, my number one thing next year, people are like, hey, can I work for the Rebellion? How are you going to bring in $20 million? I'll write you whatever check you want to. What's your plan to bring in 20 and go get that 20? You got to bring in a multiple. I know some of you be like, hey, man, can I get Troy Rashad? I want a hoodie. I love everything they do. I love what they do for the culture. I want to work with them. Find a way to bring in $50 million. Shadi will talk to you every morning. So will I. But if you want to talk to us every morning, you can go to ianinvest.com and get some insights before I go to BlackRock and sell out. Shout out to BlackRock, who was in the building last night, and Square.
Before I go sell out.
I'm telling y'all my plans, man. But I'm going to take y'all with me, though. We're going to sell out together. I told you I was in the mood today.
Waiting on the phone call.
Hey, immediately.
Well, that brings
monitor
us
the situation.
We have to.
Close.
We have to.
Close.
My graduates from my school being Forbes, bag drop.
Bag drop.
A mic drop, bag drop.
Bag drop.